Hey, budding lawyers, welcome to the podcast. Today we have with us Mr. Himanshu Anand. Hi, Himanshu.
Hi Prasanna, how you doing, man?
Great. And Himanshu holds a graduate degree in forensic science and technology and a degree in law. He's currently working in a legal news and journal publication called Lextructor. He is also simultaneously pursuing a master's course in criminal law from NLU Shimla. So, Himanshu, let's start with your current work profile. Can you take us through your typical day or week of the job? Like, what are you exactly doing at Lextructor?
Technically, because of the pandemic, everything is managing through the house only. So currently, I'm pursuing my master's in laws. So basically, I'm quite engaged with my assignments and projects and theses. And apart from that, I'm working as an associate editor with Lextructor. It's a legal platform. So there, I just overview and review the blogs which I get from the interns and from the people. And additionally, I'm working with the Indian Police Foundation as a research intern. So my whole day is quite I spend with in front of the laptop only. So my whole day goes that way.
Okay, so I don't know much about Indian Police Foundation. You were interning there, as you said.
Yes, yes,
So,
yes.
can you tell us about that organization first, because it's quite new to me? And what were
Yes,
you
yes.
working like that? What were you doing there?
Basically, Indian Police Foundations is a think tank. It's a government think tank in which it is basically organized with the our founder, Mr. Ramachandran. He is the former DGP
Hmm.
of Shillong, I guess. So he initiated that thing. It's a think tank in which we basically see what are the shortcomings which has been facing by the Indian police. So we actually approach to reform the Indian policing through different methods which we can incorporate in their working. So what I'm pursuing right now, what I'm doing and undertaking in my work is like how technology can enhance the policing and enhance the efficacy, efficiency, and transparency of the Indian police. So now currently I'm like engaging myself with the different aspects of policing, like how tech, because pandemic has given us a huge amount of new crimes. Like if you are able to connect it, like we have gone through with a lot of crime rates during the pandemic, cyber crime, I must say. So Indian polices are lagging behind in tackling those aspects because India is still lag in technological aspect, right? So currently I'm just looking into the other aspects of like technologies, how other nations are developing their police infrastructure through technology.
Okay. Okay.
So
So
yes.
we are lacking in the technological infrastructure required for policing.
So to be very honest, the technology is not the real thing, I would say. Rather, I would say that the old school
Mentality?
mechanism which no old school mechanism which have been following in India to recruit the manpower of policing, like constabulary, I would say.
Yeah, yeah.
See, see, the problem with India is like it's not technically lagging behind in technology, but the person who actually use the technology are lagging.
Yeah, right.
So we must focus on the aspect of recruiting the we should focus on the process of recruiting the manpower. Like we should inculcate the basic foundational technological the knowledge in them, so that the
Hmm.
technology can be efficiently used by them.
Hmm. Okay,
Yeah.
so not getting into that more. Uh, that's because we were supposed to talk about forensics. So let's see.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that. Forensics plays a very important role not only in criminal laws, criminal cases, but also in fields like archaeology too. Like so is something very interest and it is also very interesting for many people. So it is also, I think, more dramatized due to movies and especially due to CID and ACP Pradyuman, if people know about him. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
just tell us about like what are your views about it?
Okay, so I would like to answer the first thing that yes, it does plays a very crucial role in criminal law and criminal cases. Apart from that, it also helps in archaeological. So I would like first go to with the what archaeology is. Archaeology is like identifying the persons through excavating. Like so, excavation is a process in which you excavate something and you like correlate with the time, like how old it is, and you identify it. So forensic, what forensic plays in it, like if in a cases of murder, in cases of other like if you have known about the case of like Nithari Kand, in which uh, the perpetrator actually brutally, he actually like excavate the police excavated the bodies, and the forensic plays as a role in that case. It identifies through odontology, like how old the body is, how old the person is, and how it basically what the person is wearing.
Hmm.
So it actually identifies the person, what forensic plays in archaeology.
Hmm.
So that is the main aspect with this thing, archaeology. Second thing is that what actually you see in CID is totally a misconception because forensic doesn't go this way. So forensic is quite, I would say that it's a common science, right? Forensic is something which you perceive in everywhere. Matlab, wherever you go, you leave your marks. That is what forensic science is.
Hmm.
See, whatever you touches, it leaves your imprints.
Hmm.
So in CID, what they actually show in CID is like everything is going very fast and very organized, but it is not like that actually.
Hmm.
See,
Hmm.
everything what detectives, they actually showed that detectives are the one which who perform everything in the
Hmm.
criminal case, but it
Hmm.
is not like that. Detective is different, forensic experts is different.
Hmm.
So whenever a crime is happened, so the prosecution lawyer and the defense lawyer came in to the court, and thereafter judge summons the witness summons the expert.
Hmm.
So in case where there is a need of an expert,
Yeah.
in any case, like in a case of murder where there is discrepancies about evidences, so there the judge appoints any expert, like in evidence act 45, the opinion of the expert matters in relevant actually in Indian evidence act, right? So there he summons the witness, he actually judge write a summon to the forensic labs, and the viscera examination happens there. Like is if there is a case of poisoning, so what happens, viscera is like organ, like liver, kidney. So the kidney goes to the forensic labs, and there they perform the test, various tests. See, there are a lot of tests, I would say that chromatographies are there, and measurements and serum tests are there, various chemicals through which we actually perform tests which identifies which poison has been used to commit the crime.
Hmm.
And then the expert come to the court, and then he actually tells the court that this has been found in the report, and there we see. So what actually the witness come, when the witness come from the prosecution side, the defense lawyer has the authority to cross examine them. So there it plays the role of forensic, where actually you should have the acumen to cross examine the witness
Okay.
in a court.
Okay.
Yes.
So, forensics, like this part is comes under the cross examination part of a trial.
Yes, yes, yes.
So I think
But
it.
forensic experts are a lot of different types as well. Like there are handwriting specialists, there are ballistic experts, there are toxicologists. So
Okay.
all such experts are comes under forensic experts only. Ballistic is the gunshots. If a gun is involved in a crime scene, if a gun is involved in as a modus operandi in a crime,
Hmm.
so what forensic expert do is to examine the pattern of bullet, the uh, see the pin marks in the bullet. So there is also a unique identification mark of every gun and a bullet. So there plays the role of ballistics expert. Then it comes a toxicologist who actually examine the poison, the body fluids, and then it comes the handwriting experts who actually examine the handwriting of the accused or perpetrator. and through the handwriting we actually can, matlab, it's not the hardcore rule, I would say, but you can somewhere get the idea of like who committed the crime, because in case of forgery you have to, approach to the expert where he can identify the handwriting of the suspected person. So there are
Hmm.
a lot of types of forensic experts in the field.
So this was quite interesting. Are there any more forensic expert category of?
There are a lot of categories like DNA fingerprinting. DNA fingerprinting is also done by the forensic experts. Then digital forensics is also an aspect of forensic, in which we track the digital footprints of the person. Like digital footprint is something, whatever you access over the internet, it
Hmm.
leaves the mark. Like it is somewhere goes, like wherever you go, like as a human being, you leave your mark.
Hmm.
Like if
Hmm.
you walk in, either you are walking a barefoot or walking in a shoe, the
Hmm.
sand, whatever the sand is in, whatever the sand is intact with your boot, is goes place to place.
Right.
So wherever you go you leave your mark. That it same goes with the digital footprints as well, where whatever you search over the internet, it leaves the mark. And that's the forensic expert do their work in
Hmm.
a digital forensics and cyber forensics.
So this is something I just was curious. So when we are searching the internet, even in incognito mode, even then
Yeah,
one can be
everything.
tracked. One can be tracked.
Yes, of course, incognito mode is also built by some application. So
Hmm.
there has to be a data stored
Hmm.
in that segment as well. So whatever
Okay.
you access over the internet, it leaves your mark, man.
Okay.
You cannot
So
get
yeah,
spared
yeah.
by anything.
So privacy as a myth is that's why it's said like that.
See, privacy goes in other way.
Hmm.
Privacy is something like if Google knowing your data, definitely Google knows you everything.
Yeah.
What privacy is, Google is not sharing your data with any third party. That is where privacy role plays.
Yeah. That is
Okay.
it's supposed to like not share, but I'm quite skeptical about it.
Yeah, I get it, man. See, this is the policy of every application. Whenever you like install any application, it asks you to accept the terms and condition of that application.
Yeah,
So
which we
there
usually no one reads.
yes, exactly, that we generally no one reads.
Hmm.
So there it has been written clearly that the data will be stored by us only, and it will not be shared with anyone else until and unless the government will ask or approach to the authority
Yeah.
in the matter of national securities.
Yeah. Okay, so I think there have been many myths and misconceptions of people, like people have related to this field, which you must have encountered while studying this subject. So can you share some of those, like any myths or misconceptions people usually have?
Myths and misconception. Yeah, like when I first joined my undergrad course in forensics, everybody was very curious about why I have joined this course. So everybody was telling me like you must be the very fond of CID and all. The forensic does not work that way. What I see in TV series basically are generally very rare, where very rarely I see those TV serials. So I'm not able to like tell you what actually they saw on, you know, portray in television. But
Hmm.
some of my friends have asked me, "Okay, what is your job? Matlab, what have you done in forensics? What actually you read about it?" So I would give that in CID cases or in programs like CID, CSI, what the major thing they focus on is DNA. Okay, you can trace the
Hmm.
DNA from this thing, you can trace the DNA from that thing. It is possible, but DNA is a very tedious process. So you cannot run DNA on everything you see. Matlab, if you see a glass of water and you just put your mouth on the glass and the saliva can be extracted from that, so it doesn't mean that you can run the DNA test from it, because DNA is very fragile thing. It can be manipulated easily. And other myth I would say is that fingerprinting as well. Like people sees that fingerprint can be extracted from the place, which whatever we touch, it can be extracted from that place, but it's not possible in every case, because the criminals are very smart nowadays. So everybody commit a crime with wearing gloves, and it
Hmm.
it
Hmm.
can be and I would say that the fingerprints can be washed out very easily with the bleach. So
Okay.
tracking DNA is a very hard nowadays. You can track the, or you can like trace the fingerprint from the charcoal powder, which what I learned in my undergrad. So there are some powders which you can extract the fingerprints from them, but I don't think so. Okay, fingerprint is nowadays very good evidence, as I would say, because it is also very fragile. It can be manipulated very easily. It can be tempered very easily. Because whatever you see over your thumb, your fingertips, the ridges, these are the ridges through which we can identify the person. These are unique to every person. Okay,
Hmm.
so if any cut, or if any like any thread in
Bruise. Yeah.
yeah, if any thread is come between the ridges, so you cannot like track the exact data from that, you know, that print. So it's a very
Okay.
delicate evidence in a court of law.
Hmm. Okay. So even if we get such reports regarding the fingerprints or DNA, it like it's not like very much of reliable evidence, I think, because it
No,
can be manipulated so easily.
fingerprint is a very reliable content, I would say, or evidence, because it is unique to every person. But
Hmm.
the main fight with the fingerprint is that it is very hard to trace the fingerprint. Once you trace it, once you identify it with the sample, like you have, what actually is important in the forensic science is that you have to have a sample in which you can run the test with, right? If you have the
Hmm.
sample of
Hmm.
suspect, like there are 10 suspects in a crime scene, and you got the DNA, and you got the fingerprint from the crime scene.
Hmm.
So you have to have the comparison sample for comparison.
Hmm.
So if the sample got matched with that suspect, then it's a very well admissible and relevant to the matter of fact.
Oh.
So it is a very good piece of evidence.
Hmm.
It has a high credential value because it is unique to every person.
And as it is shown in like movies and all, in real life, do lawyers get any chance to visit such sites which are sealed, like the crime scenes which are sealed by police or forensic experts?
See, I highly doubt that statement, because for everything in India, na, you have to give the bribe. Okay.
Hmm.
So if
And the procedure is also very tedious, right? To get anything like this
see,
to be done.
crime scene is a very fragile scene, you know. Matlab, anything can be tempered with a fraction of minute.
Hmm.
If you just put a step, if you just put a foot over any evidence, it got tampered, it got manipulated. So,
Hmm.
and that is the main point why we are lagging in criminal investigation, is because the police who actually, there is no role of forensic expert in crime scene, right? We have actually not
Hmm.
inculcated, and we have not incorporated the forensic experts with Indian police force.
Hmm.
So generally, all the evidence seizure and crime scene investigation recreation are generally performed by the normal constabulary position holders, like constables, head constables, ASI. So they generally don't know what actually they need to perform during the crime scene.
Hmm.
So they eventually got themselves manipulate, and they eventually got they eventually manipulate the evidence by themselves,
Yeah, by mistake, but they do it.
by mistake. Yeah, they all, that's why we have so low rate of conviction, because
Hmm.
the evidence we cannot track more efficiently. And if lawyer, like if any lawyer, I would say a random lawyer will go to a crime scene, he don't know what the evidence will play a role in the crimes, in the criminal matter. He basically don't know what the area is like. Considered in a room there is a murder happened, right?
Hmm.
And whole room is blocked by the police.
Hmm.
But if you want to like analyze the situation of the room, people have to step inside the room, right?
Yeah.
But you never know, okay, what has been in the floor. What
Hmm.
if there is a crucial evidence like the hair follicle, and matlab, anything could be there on the floor,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
right? So it can easily got tempered. So we generally prefer not to visit on the crime scenes by the lawyers. It is not preferred to visit on the crime scene. Rather, I would say that it's a duty of the forensic expert, which has to be done by the forensic experts only, because they know how to preserve the evidence, and evidence plays a very vital role in any criminal matter.
But currently, it is not happening like that. Like forensic experts don't go and to the crime scene also, right?
No, 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 no. Because see, what the first approach done by the Indian criminal justice system is that once you report a crime, right, they allot a police team, and the police team comes to the crime scene, and they analyze analyze the whole crime area, and barricade everything and all, and they are the person who actually calls the forensic expert in case where they feel so that the forensic expert is needed in that place. So
Hmm.
if consider like I'm the police officer, I'm feeling like there is nothing happened in the crime scene, it can be easily dealt with ourselves only, so I would not call any forensic expert.
Okay.
I'll generally collect those. There is a com, it can be a crucial evidence for us, so let's the com take away with that with us. But what if a criminal has wiped the floor? What if a criminal has wiped the floor with the blood? Matlab, if imagine if there is a blood on the floor, a
Hmm.
criminal is very very because I would say that
Sophisticated
criminals
nowadays.
nowadays, yeah, criminals are very very way ahead than the police force. They
Hmm.
have actually gone far away in technology and everything.
Hmm.
So definitely nobody will leave a mark on the floor.
Hmm.
They commit a crime very sophisticatedly. They won't let any trace, uh, like they won't let any trace to trace them
Hmm.
in the
Hmm.
future by the police.
Hmm.
So that is why I would say that government should take an initiative to incorporate one at least one forensic expert with the police team, so that wherever the police team goes to examine the crime scene, it can extract the crucial evidence from that place.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Can you share any interesting cases you have read about or worked on?
As of now, I haven't been able to visit to any place, but very interesting case which I've encountered in my real life is like there's this woman who actually got arrested by the police, and because of the lack of evidence, she got acquitted. So what happened in that case, matlab, it was a case near to my locality. It happened near to my locality. So I'm very well aware of the fact that the woman actually committed the crime. She stabbed her, what she called, sister-in-law, basically. She stabbed the sister-in-law and robbed the jewelry of the sister-in-law. So there the evidences which was totally hampered by the police itself, and at last the police couldn't find any traceable evidence with respect to that woman. She got acquitted by the time. So there you can actually like perceive the importance of evidence, how evidence plays a very vital role in any criminal case. Like without evidence you cannot run, you cannot proceed with a good trial.
Hmm. And I think most of the acquittals are due to lack of evidence only, right?
Yes. Because India is lagging to preserve the evidence. See, I told you in the beginning, no, the police force uh, aren't aware of the methods to preserve the evidence. They
Hmm.
hope all around the crime scene and then collect the evidence. How could it be possible to not being tampered by them?
Hmm. Hmm.
Right. If you're hopping all over the place, then definitely you are hampering the evidences which are on the floor.
Yeah. So are you guys doing anything at Indian Police Foundation regarding this? Like any initiative for this?
Yes, I'm actually currently suggesting some reformations to Indian police. So I'm incorporating some suggestions in which like how forensic experts need to be there to support the police. Because forensic expert is definitely a person who who basically have the knowledge of science,
Hmm.
or basically have knowledge, some sort of knowledge of technology as well. So he can actually work more better in terms of technology, right? So if there will be a forensic expert with the Indian police, So anyways, it will eventually help the police to get more evidences out of the crime scene.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm proposing some reformations to the Indian police foundations, that we can incorporate the forensic experts and techniques. Like we can generally teach the basic fundamental and foundation techniques to the constables. Like we can train them how to collect the evidence, what is crucial and what are not crucial for the crime, for the criminal case. So
Hmm, hmm,
there has to be some, some webinars and something to teach them about the importance of evidences and importance of preservation of crime scene.
hmm, hmm, hmm. So you are currently doing this LLM course in criminal law. I would like to know if there are any LLM courses specializing in criminal law, but more in forensic sciences and technology.
No. I highly doubt that, because forensic science is totally a different thing.
Yeah,
Forensic science is generally pursued by a person who have a prior knowledge of science. It's a science course,
yeah,
right? So
yeah.
if you really want to learn about forensic science, you can do masters in it, because forensic science in itself is like, you just have to have a graduation degree in science. Then
Hmm,
you can pursue masters in forensic science. Moreover, you can do the criminalistics as well. So criminalistics and forensics are generally go hand in hand.
hmm, hmm,
They move parallelly. So if you study the criminalistics in your masters, so you can very well get the knowledge and awareness of forensic science if you read just the books during your criminalistics.
yeah. Or
Yes,
else you can do
but I
some,
don't.
or else you can do some diploma or postgraduate diploma in forensics.
Yeah, there are some diplomas also available, like there are ethical hacking diploma, which is generally used for digital forensics, and there are diplomas in handwriting specialist. Very interesting fact I would say, I would like to tell you, is that you can actually identify the behavior of the accused through handwriting as well, because the behavior of person reflects through handwriting. What handwriting is, it is actually generated through your mind. Whatever you think. See, have you ever noticed, like when you are in a good mood, you try to write in a very beautiful manner. Whenever you feel very good and very happy, then you try to write in a very beautiful manner. You give time to your handwriting and give time to every word, so it reflects your mentality and thinking.
Hmm, hmm.
So some experts also able to track down the behavior and mental state and psychology of the accused through the handwriting. So handwriting plays a very vital role.
Yeah, I know. Because one of my friend had done this course on like handwriting analysis, and he asked me for a sample, and I sent him. Like it was a long sample, I think 2 pages, I think, and he even told me that I like the smell of petrol and all that stuff.
Ah,
So
exactly.
these things people don't even like think of, like from a handwriting, people can know so much of.
Hmm. It generally reflects your general behavior. And one more thing I would like to say, that in your handwriting there are special characters which cannot be changed, which cannot be disguised. So it is also a unique pattern which everybody follows in their writing habit, because it is generated by your mind, and whatever you think during writing that note or writing that stuff, impulses and nerves are getting through the minds. So whatever you write, whatever you think during writing a note, it actually reflects on that note. So if you are like you are willing to take a revenge from anybody, then that aggression can be seen through your writing. So there are a lot of forensic experts which actually analyze your handwriting pattern. It also comes under the behavior and psychological aspect of studying the behavior and mind of accused perpetrators.
Hmm, hmm.
So forensic is quite a long and a broad field which nobody can learn in a fraction of years, and I would say it's like learning process.
Yeah, yeah, agree. Uh, so, what skills do you think a lawyer must inculcate to understand and to use forensics in a better way?
See, what I feel is like a good lawyer is the one who doubts on everything. Whatever, wherever you go, you just doubt on everything. And a good forensic expert or a lawyer would be the person who will analyze everything with an analytical mind. So I would highly suggest to the young lawyers that they must have some basic knowledge of science, because science is something which is playing a vital role nowadays in every criminal or civil cases. I would not say that criminal cases generally involves the technological aspect, but the civil cases are also incorporating and taking the records of technology. So I would rather suggest that people should have basic knowledge of the science so that they can deal the cases very efficiently and very analytical and skillful manner.
Okay, so can you please share an incident from your career which is very memorable to you?
Yeah, one incident I would say that when I was in my graduation, in the last year, we had an opportunity to visit the autopsy. We had a opportunity to actually see the autopsy, and we went to the mortuary house. So there we saw the actual dead body, and there the expert performed. Basically, he was a forensic expert plus having a MBBS degree, because autopsy can be performed by MBBS surgeon only.
Hmm.
So he performed the autopsy. He actually we were just standing near to the dead body. There is a dead body of women who got stabbed by her husband only.
Hmm.
So we were analyzing the stab and wounds. So that was a very memorable part of my life. I would say that from that time I was, it's a very interesting and experimental job for us, to experiment everything, whatever you it actually changes your mindset. It actually changes your, you go step one ahead. I would say that you actually step one ahead to the normal or layman person. Your thinking got totally changed. Your acumen, your, I would say that whatever you see, whatever you perceive, you see everything differently.
Hmm.
So I would say that there was a time which actually still actually makes me very enthusiastic and makes me very motivating to see new aspects of science. And because currently I'm taking the science and humanities hand to hand,
Yeah.
because law is a humanity subject and my background is from science. So how science and humanities go hand in hand is a very, I would say that it's a very interesting thing to learn.
Also very scary for the light-hearted ones, right?
Yes. I still remember that there were my few classmates who got fainted during that time,
Oh.
because yeah, it was very it was really a nice experience for us.
Hmm.
And criminal lawyer, I would suggest they must possess a good heart and heavy heart to see all such things.
Yeah, agree. Okay, that was the last question. Thanks, Himanshu, for this informative conversation and sharing your experience with us.
No problem.
And thank you so much for listening to this podcast. If you like this episode, then you must also check out our other episodes available here and follow us here so that you don't miss out a new episode. Thank you.